Hi there. I'd like to just first, Joe, say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. I know that you've got many projects, exciting projects that you're working on for the future of the growth of this company. But Monty and I wanted to take some time and sit down with you and really talk about the nutritional supplements that you have innovated for the use of marketing around the world. We are getting ready to launch, of course, you know, Redesign in 90. And the 5 products that are going to be within that program is AC Shake, AC Complex, T-Green, Cortitrol, and Vitality. And many of our clients, our distributors around the world want to know, why is it did we put those 5 products in the R90 challenge? And you've shared a few things with us, and I'd like you to just take a few minutes and talk about those 5 products.
Well, thanks, Tracy. Well, first of all, Happy New Year, guys, everybody. And it's wonderful because finally we're hitting this category. And when we started off with this ageLOC and all the science that we've done and how it's relating to gene expression and activity, how those genes are controlling our body, this is the big kahuna. This weight loss category, the weight management category to us, we really want to make sure that we put together a system that is ideally suited for folks who are interested not just in weight loss, but actually to continue being healthy. Because when you look at weight management or folks who are interested in losing weight, when you step back and think about it, it's not about just losing the weight. It really ultimately is to making sure that you get healthier, you're going to look better, and obviously you're going to be fitter. You know, so all that, those are the sort of losing the weight is really actually a means to an end. So when I look at the end, we sort of figured out that this Redesign by 90 that we're going to launch in a couple of weeks in the US is really to make sure that we achieve the end and not just losing the weight. And hence the reason why we're putting in T-Green, as you indicated. We're putting in and recommending the use of Cortitrol as another supplement in the R by 90 weight loss system, together with the AC Shake and the AC Complex supplement. Start talking about T-Green. Now, you know that T-Green is obviously a green tea extract. It's a proprietary extraction of green tea leaves. It's not black leaves, these are fresh leaves, and we have extracted all the active ingredients and standardized T-Green according to the levels of active ingredients we wish to have in this product that we call T-Green. The reason why we're excited about this T-Green product and its inclusion in our R by 90 system is the fact that it helps the body to really help all the cells, not just the fat cells, but to help all the cells to be more metabolically active. You know, if you get a fat cell and get it running in a way, sort of energetically and metabolize more of those fat content within the cell, you're going to lose more of that fat tissue.
So some of the science that you've done in the past with T-Green, I noticed one that I read that there was some studies that you did that T-Green actually has been around, first of all, for many, many years over in Asia and very popular, but there's science that proves that it actually does increase the amount of calories you burn at rest, meaning increases the metabolism. Does that have a relationship to do with that it's that the T-Green and the ingredients in that make that cell metabolically more active?
Absolutely, absolutely. Those ingredients are directly related to the biochemistry of the fat cell. So metabolism is all about making sure that we can burn more calories. In fact, when you look at weight loss, and while it's difficult, but the scientific equation is quite simple and straightforward. You need to have fewer calories going in, and you get those calories out of your body at a much quicker rate. So less calorie in, more calories out. If you can achieve that equation, you're going to lose weight. Now it sounds simple, but it's actually quite difficult and complex within the body, and hence the reason why we need to add a supplement like T-Green to skew the equation over to burning those calories within the cell, even while you're not exercising, if you will.
Well, I just feel tons of energy taking T-Green and knowing that it's one of the strongest antioxidants within our body, or as far as a supplement, that will just protect the cells within our body to behave at a more youthful state.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So let's go forward and talk about cortisol.
Yes. Now, people think that we just need to focus on fat tissue, right? That's the tissue that you need to get rid of. No. Actually, what you need to focus on another organ in your body that is really also controlling whether you're going to have a lot of weight or less weight, and that's your brain. The science that we know about today is that when you eat, okay, the reason why we eat is not just to sustain and nourish ourselves, it's also a very pleasurable thing. And that pleasure is all related to a certain part of your brain. It's a pleasure center, almost. So, in order to control your eating, what we need to do is to make it less pleasurable. And that's where cortisol kicks in. Because cortisol is a sort of goes to the pleasure center and it mellows you a little bit better.
Okay.
It provides the same amount of pleasure, if you will, and replaces the amount of food that you're eating, so that you don't use food to get that real pleasant feeling in your brain.
So that's a phenomenal supplement. I know that you've also done a study on how cortisol, the imbalance of cortisol release in the brain affects stomach fat.
Absolutely.
Can you share a little bit with us what study was done that shows that when you balance out your cortisol levels, that the long term, that there's less abdominal fat?
Well, cortisol has an ingredient in it that really regulates a hormone in your body, and this hormone is called cortisol, hence the name why we call it cortisol. It controls the secretion or the production of this hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is required, is a very useful hormone for us, because that's a hormone that we call a stress hormone. In other words, genetically, as a species, when you see something that is going to sort of endanger your life, you require this cortisol to be secreted in your body so you can run faster, away from the danger. Okay? So it's what we call a flight or fright stress hormone. You need that to keep your self-defense mechanisms operating in your body. But as soon as that danger disappears, the cortisol level should go down. It should not stay high. It should not stay elevated, because that will induce so much stress in you, you're going to eat more.
So is it related to an extra release of cortisol that creates more midsection fat, or is the stress causing the individual to eat because it's comforting their stress?
Yes,
Okay.
and the cortisol, the stress hormone, if it's high, it will cause you to eat more. Unfortunately, all that fat that's being produced from that eating more is actually deposited around the tummy area.
Got it.
Yeah.
So Joe, another supplement that's going to be in the Redesign in 90 package for weight loss is the Vitality. Now, most everyone that's watching this video knows the benefits of Vitality,
Right.
but as well as many of the personal testimonies. Tell us why you included Vitality in this program.
Well, most people tell me when they get on a weight loss system, whether it is Jenny Craig or any of the dieting systems that are available, one of the unfortunate things is the fact that when you get on a diet system, you tend to lose energy. For the first few months, you sort of feel lethargic. You just don't feel you have the same amount of energy as before. You don't seem to be able to enjoy life. Yeah, you're losing weight, but you just feel blah. You just don't have that level of energy that you had before you started the diet. We sort of thought that Vitality is almost the perfect supplement to be included in the ARBA-90 weight loss system, because it provides the energy back into your body. You're not going to feel so bad.
That's fabulous. And not only that, Joe, is in the program, for example, the 4 components that you mentioned at the beginning of this interview, is that it's not about the number on the scale. It's not about only the supplements that you take. There's really 4 components in creating what's a long-term weight loss success, and that is meal frequency, teaching people how to eat smaller portions, then proper supplements that support scientifically weight loss. Third, exercise, that there really is a component of how exercise relates to the lean to fat ratio, correct?
Absolutely.
And then the third is fourth is accountability.
Right.
Learning to be accountable to yourself. Being strong, that this is your goal, no one else's. Have the right attitude. Can you share with the listeners what you mentioned off camera about attitude?
Yes, I think mindset, again, like anything else, you know, it's really very important and a critical factor in maintaining that weight off. You know, you have to be accountable. I mean, there's no getting away from that. You know, you are responsible for yourself, and we can provide all the tools, and we can provide all the products and a perfect system for you, but at the end of the day, the only person that can grab the brass ring is you.
Absolutely, and you and I both know that unfortunately in the U.S. market, about over 70% is in that overweight category, and unfortunately I think it's a lack of education, that people are focusing so much on just the one element, and that's why they might lose it, but they're gaining it back. And so with this program, is that this is an educational program to help our clients keep it off long term.
Absolutely, that's the key thing, to keep it off long term, so then you don't gain back all the weight you've lost. You've worked so hard to lose all that weight. What's the point 12 months from now? You're going to gain it all back.
Everything is in moderation, Joe, right?
That's the key.
And so I don't teach to my clients that you just have to stay on this regimented program and not eat a donut or a cookie once in a while. This is not about that. This is about moderation. Now, one of the things that we also teach is eating more frequently, 2 to 3 hours apart, but smaller meals. 2 of the meals on this program get to be the AC shake. Love, love, love it. It's around the 200 calorie point. Tell us why people are experiencing such great satisfaction when they have these AC shakes.
Well, if you use the whole system, the AC shake actually contains some of the botanical ingredients that help to sort of curb your appetite, makes you feel fuller, and at the same time provide you with all the proteins and all the carbs, not a lot, but enough to give you a fully, one of the most nourishing protein shakes ever. It's not just about proteins. It's about giving you a meal replacement that satisfies all your nutrition needs.
And I'm going to ask you a question, because there's a lot of question out there in the nutrition field about whey protein versus other types of protein, and you chose to go with the whey protein. As I read, it's a protein that breaks down much easily in our system. Is that accurate to say?
Yes, that's accurate to say. And also remember, our whey protein, it comes from protein isolate, so it's a purer form of whey protein.
Okay.
It's a cleaner form, if you will. So it's a higher quality protein. Not all proteins are created equal. You have to remember that. When we say, oh, some competitors are using low quality protein, what we mean by that is that doesn't provide some of the amino acids. You know, proteins all consist of amino acid blocks, right? So some of these lower quality proteins don't have the amino acids that we, as a human, we require that. Some animals don't, but we, as a human species, if a protein doesn't contain that amino acid, that protein is no good to us.
So that is a really interesting point that our listeners need to understand, that there's many protein powders out there on the market.
Absolutely.
But our mix within the AC shake is a blend of whey protein that has all of the amino acids that our body requires to act in the most sufficient way.
To build your body.
Yes.
To build that lean muscle. You don't want to lose lean muscle.
No.
You know, as you lose weight, right? You just
Why is that, Joe? I know.
We all need muscle. That's how we survive.
That's right. And isn't lean muscle, that's really the goal at the end of the day, is to help people understand what our body composition is made up of. If we can get people to have a more lean mass, muscle's active. It burns more calories, right?
Absolutely right. The more muscle you have, the more you can train your muscle to be more active, you're going to naturally burn more calories.
I love it.
Yeah.
So Joe, the last product I have a question about is the AC Complex. And that supplement on the service, or the serving size, is to take 2 pills every 3 hours.
That's right.
I so believe in that because the ingredients in it really take my appetite away. Can you elaborate a little bit more on why you chose those ingredients to go into AC Complex?
Well, there are 3 things. Again, it's a means to an end. One of the sort of ultimate objectives of AC Complex is to make sure that you don't crave to eat more.
Okay.
And we know one of the mechanisms to make sure that that doesn't happen is to maintain an even blood sugar level. So some of the ingredients in AC Complex actually does that. They actually help you to maintain an even glucose level. So AC Complex, frankly, I mean, even diabetics can take it, for example. It's a pretty good supplement for them as well. So, and cravings, that we come back to this again. You know, every time you crave, it's not good for you. So again, through other mechanisms, we have other ingredients we have in AC Complex. They also operate through a different mechanism, not through glucose now, but directly on the brain to help you curb your appetite.
So really, so it's got ingredients that not only regulate sugar levels, but also ingredients in it that regulate cravings, and that comes again from the brain, correct?
That's right, and suppress your appetite.
So last question, Joe, and I know that everybody's so thankful that you're a part of our scientific team, and you've got so many great things that are going to occur in the future, but what can we look forward to for the future?
Well, I'm hoping, and I think this, my dream will come true within the next, 18 to 24 months. We're obviously using our ageLOC technology to build the weight management system we currently have to the next level. That's, you can almost read the tea leaves, so to speak, to predict what we're going to do next, right? I mean, Truman has already announced that's now next focus for the scientists in new skin. So we're going to build an ageLOC weight management system. We're going to learn a lot. In fact, one of the reasons why we actually acquired LifeGen, which we announced during the global convention, is actually because of all you guys. We want to make sure that some of the discoveries that we have sort of made together with LifeGen stay with us. We actually found over the previous 12 months some very exciting discoveries related to how we can regulate fat tissue.
Give us one little tidbit.
So, okay, fat tissue can be directly traced back to how certain genes work, how they express themselves. It's not just one gene. Again, it is absolutely key for all of you to remember. It's never about a single gene. Okay, it's always about this orchestra of genes. There is a mini orchestra playing in your fat tissue. Half of them are playing that is directly related to making you fat. And there is another group of genes that are directly related to helping you to stay thin. For all intents and purposes, let's call these cluster of genes fat genes. Okay? We are beginning to understand how to rebalance those two sets of genes within the fat tissue so that once we've done that, we can help you to lose weight. So the next ageLOC weight management system will be the first genetically based weight loss system that has ever been developed.
So really creating and innovating something that can rebalance those fat genes to behave like we did when we were
younger. So it's like the resetting, you know, the resetting these fat genes to a more youthful state. So, because we already know when you're a 20-year-old, for all intents and purposes, we can eat all we liked. When we were younger, we never seemed to have any problems in maintaining our weight. We're hoping that at a much older age, with the help of the ageLOC weight management system in about 2 years' time, we can get you back to behaving like a 20-year-old and maintaining your weight.
Wow. Joe, thank you so much for taking the time
Thanks,
out of your
Chrissy.
busy day
Thank you.
and sharing this great information for all of our distributors out there worldwide. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thanks. Bye, guys.